say we want to win war, what kind of war are we having right now? We have war against terror. And the only way to win war against terror is to catch terrorists. And you don't catch terrorists by slaughtering a city, by killing civilians, by using tanks, ladies and gentlemen. You can also use other methods. Like what Mel said, we have methods of intercepting to terrorist cells used by FBI and CIA. And this does not create violence. Why do we have to resort our military budget and pour them into making aircraft, buying tanks, buying shells, buying tomahawks, instead of funding FBI? We think that's the first point coming from Mel that is not responded by Leslie. Second of all, Mel also said the thing about how if they want justice, they have to clarify what is an element of justice. And an element of justice is evidence. Where do they get the evidence that will lead towards one specific person that is at fault at one order? Because we have told you that the evidence might be stored in those memos, in those paper trails, in those documents that exist within Pentagon. That first of all, Pentagon is so hard to intrude even by military investigators. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you deal with that?
We're not going to talk about how the tomahawk is. We're going to help them in the trial, but we're going to provide them a final justice. You never...
Yeah, you need justice, you need evidence. Tell me how you're going to get the evidence when the evidence has been burned, ladies and gentlemen. It's stored in very, very special crevices of the Pentagon. You never explain that, ladies and gentlemen. And we think this is where justice becomes impedimented, and they never shoot. Now, the third policy of the government side of the house is that they never recognize that military is not just about, someone high and someone low that they call foot soldiers. Military is not as simple as that. Military is about a hierarchy, a very, very large and long one. Ladies and gentlemen, they assume that everyone that they call following orders are foot soldiers that know nothing about the operation, that doesn't design any operation, that doesn't design anything that we call interpretation. We don't think so, because you have people like Rumsfeld as someone who is following Bush's order that creates that sort of Abu Ghraib kind of operation. Ladies and gentlemen, and this person called Rumsfeld has also a lot of commanders beneath it that also specify what sort of things that they mean by give interrogation to the tactics. Ladies and gentlemen, so first of all, I'm gonna rebut this point on their idea about how these foot soldiers are all indoctrinated into become killing machines, like what Oka said. They're training because in boot camps they're very, very sweaty doing push-ups. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not everything they do in boot camps. They also sleep in bunks, they also eat food, and most importantly, they go to classes, ladies and gentlemen. And in these classes, like what Carmen told you, they are told about what conduct is appropriate as soldiers and what is not. They're told you about what principle of just war has to be held by a soldier and at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, and that principle is very, very simple. First of all, you can't kill civilians; you have to treat them well. And second of all, you cannot overdo your conduct in the field. How can a soldier forget this at field? Ladies and gentlemen, when there is a command coming from the high echelon of the White House to say, bring interrogation or bring out information coming from suspected people in Iraq. Now, the way that some commanders at ground interpret this is by forcing these suspected people to do forced standing, for instance, listening to rock music 23 hours per day. They have sleep deprivation. They have forced homosexual conduct, ladies and gentlemen. For these Arabic men, seriously, being called a faggot is something that destroys their very inner core. It's something that destroys their psychology. So many things like that done by officers like Janet Kervinsky, like Lindsey Jones, like people in movie Taxi to the Dark Side. That is so, so evil. Now, the order is simple. Give interrogation, get information. Now, how do you interpret this into such immensity of improper treatment? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we think the ones at fault is that particular commander. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that the high echelon should also be responsible for that? We don't think so, because the military, again, is about the hierarchy. From above, it's a very clear order, get information. But then the interpretation gets ugly. Now, why do you also have to drag down people on top, which may have good skills, which may be good, ladies and gentlemen? So we don't think that ultimately people down there are that innocent, because we think that they have the area of creatively inventing the scenarios they want to put in their wars, ladies and gentlemen. Because everyone down there, the lieutenant, the commanders, can also say, with all due respect, sir, I don't think that is best for the situation. Because maybe sometimes those high-ranking officials in the White House don't know field information as best as commanders and lieutenants at a ground level, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that sometimes the high officers actually submit to the negotiating tactics that is offered by people down there. So we don't think that people down there who are just following orders is that innocent. We don't want them to just let go of the blame of doing war crimes because we think that's bad. Now, second thing that I'd like to rebut is Ija's point. Riza's point about how we would weaken war this way, about how we would impediment victory. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want USA to win wars. I don't want USA to win their invasions, because it's not just war, it's not crusade war, it's not any holy wars. Ladies and gentlemen, it's something that you call invasion towards Afghanistan, towards Pakistan, which bet that they don't win it. Now, if this is true, if they want to win war easily, why has cluster munitions been banned? Why has phosphorus bombs been banned? Why has UCAVs been banned? And why has nuclear weapon been banned? I mean, if you want to win any war easily, just use nuclear. So we think that this point is effectively showing that right now humanity and the world governance has seen that no war is actually the very easy solution. War should be a very, very difficult solution, and we should not just say we want to win war, ladies and gentlemen, because war kills people. War cannot be done without collateral damage. And the worst thing that you can do when you do war is that you kill civilians. That is very, very easy. Now, if we intimidate everyone in the military, whoever does killing civilians in the military will punish you, we say we will deter people from taking action such as aggression to another country, to taking action such as invading another country like Afghanistan and things like that. And we think this is good because we see less invasions in the future. We see less intrusions done by countries who has Tomahawk and all those missiles, and we think that is the best world that we can see, because that is a world with less violence as possible, and no one gets to be done in collateral damage, ladies and gentlemen. So lastly, I'm going to be talking about how their idea about self-defense is actually something very, very important. We don't think the self-defense actually very, very stand much in the debate, because we see, again, we set up the precedents of Nuremberg trials on even everyone, every single person within the Nazi group, even the underlings, ladies and gentlemen, when they do systematic genocide, they are also punished. They are also stripped out of their power, and they're being put into military jails. Ladies and gentlemen, we think this is a jurisprudence that shows us the same action should we do right now, because right now humanity has even evolved. Maybe the action should have been harsher, ladies and gentlemen. But second of all, they never responded to our question about go-bills, because maybe they don't understand go-bills. I'm not going to assume that. But we think that they never just respond on the idea on how maybe these people within the middle part of the military also acquiesce to the ideology of disregarding just war. Maybe they agree that we can't kill civilians if this means we expedite our means of war. Maybe they also agree with that sort of heinous ideologies, like what Joseph Goebbels did. I mean, his high-ranking is Hitler, but he also agrees with that sort of ideology. How do you prove that these lieutenants, these people within the middle of the military, only did this because they're forced? Because maybe they like to do that, like Lindsey Jones, like Janet Turbinsky, for instance, people in Abu Ghraib who love to torture those innocent people, ladies and gentlemen. So we think there are people like that, and we think that we should kick them out of the military and give them this honorable discharge, because we don't want to have them longer in the military. They can infiltrate other people with that heinousness, ladies and gentlemen. So because we see all of the other options of winning the war against terrorism, like interception, which means that this is less violent than the other means, we see violence as a very, very bad cause. If you can say war should be harder and harder by our policy, we'd like that. Status quo has made war very, very hard, because the moment you kill civilian, you're going to kick it out of the military. We're going to keep it instead of making war easier and creating more collateral damage.